What is happening, YouTube? How y'all doing today? Today is Thursday. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt. I'm sorry. Just your average Joe hanging around. Got some sales to cover with you guys. Have some returns to talk about with you guys. Um, we'll see what's shoot from the hip, top of my head kind of thing. Y'all know how we do here. This is all raw and unedited. Appreciate y'all hanging again. My name is Joe. For those that don't know, first time hanging out, welcome. I've been reselling for 24 years, doing it full time on eBay, and been doing it full time for about 8 years now. So been around a while, done a lot, seen a lot, experienced a lot. Hopefully I can share some things with you along your journey. If you're new to reselling, or you're thinking about reselling, or you've been reselling for a while, I think I can offer a bit for everybody. So, and certainly would like to have some things shared with me. Like I dropped some things about the whole coupons and asked you guys some questions. That's the whole thing about this, is community and help. You help me as well. So I probably am not going to do coupons. I don't know, I might still do it, but I'm leaning now toward not doing it because I've had two separate people say that it's not really worked for them well. So with that being said, we'll go over returns real quick, and then we'll go over sales. So two things I mentioned, I think I already mentioned I had a return for, what was it? I don't remember. I've had three returns now. The first one was drawing a blank. I don't remember. I talked about it on the other video, but did I talk about the Game Boy? So no. So I got two more returns. The controller was the one I talked about. Yes, the controller. See, man, yeah. So the controller is the one we talked about already. So returns tend to come in like batches, it seems like. So I haven't had any returns in a while. And I will say, ultimately, like I do offer free returns on my store. In my experience, I know a lot of people are kind of like on the fence on that and don't like that. And again, some YouTubers talk about they don't and they do, whatever. My perspective is, you always want to give a peace of mind with anything you sell. So free returns. Now the caveat to that is people think that people are just going to return stuff all the time to you. I guess depending on your niche and category, and if you just have a bunch of douchebags that end up coming through your store, I guess that can happen. I'll say in my 24 years experience and then the 8 years doing this full time, doesn't really happen. Now, do you get some bogus returns? Do you get some petty customers like the one I'm dealing with now with a shirt that I'm dealing with? Yes, absolutely. But again, it just, I feel that it's the right thing to have returns on your store. Now, I know some people do zero returns, absolutely none. Now, eBay will still make you do the return if it's item not as described. So there are times where eBay will still step in and force you. Now, your customer can kind of tweak that too if they want to return it and make it appear as if you listed the item not as described to get it to fall in that bucket and category to force you to accept the return. So there's ways to kind of manipulate that too. So if you got somebody that really wants to return something, they're going to return it, and you're going to have to eat it, even with returns being off. Or if for some reason you don't, then you're leaving yourself wide open for negative feedback and stuff like that, which, I regard my feedback. I highly regard my feedback. So I'll sit on the phone if I think something is totally wrong, and I've done this before. I will sit on the phone with eBay. I got a little light there from I guess the sun and the sign. Anyway, I will. There it is again, right on my chin. I will. I've called eBay many times in the past and have had feedback removed. Now they have a new process of removing feedback where you can dispute it through them now, where you used to have to call them, or you'd have to, and they're going to make you contact the seller and do that first, and they're going to make you do the case submission to them after that before they physically will get involved again on the phone. So they're trying to not get involved with the feedback. I get it. But at the end of the day, if let's say somebody bought something from me and they didn't check out, they never paid. This was the last one I had, and this is why I was adamant and called them and did everything they asked me to do. So the first, did you communicate with the customer? Yes, you can see that. Okay, yes, sir, Ms. Chair. All right, the next thing, well, Ms. Chair, there's a new process. You have to submit a case for the feedback before it goes to the back office team, blah, blah, blah. You have to submit that. So now that's an option for us to submit that. It used to not be an option before we even touch it or we'll look at it. And I was like, okay, well, fair. So I wasn't happy, but I was like, whatever. So I went ahead and submitted. Of course, what happens is like automated kickback, said, nope, no go, not approved. So then I called again and actually spoke to somebody that time, and they did remove the feedback. In my case, it was a situation where somebody bought something, never paid. So I canceled the order. Well, they're still allowed to leave feedback. Well, the guy left me feedback, negative feedback. I'm like, you kidding me? So should never have the ability to leave feedback if they never completed the purchase. I told them that a million times. Or maybe in that case he did complete the purchase, but then we had to refund it. Was that the same item? I had to refund it because of his shipping or something like that, or I don't remember, something with a shipping issue with Puerto Rico or something like that, and so I had to cancel the order. And so either way it goes, I've had people leave it when I've canceled as well. So I've had it happen both ways. I've had people leave the craziest feedback for some stuff that, like, you know, you can clearly see in our messages back and forth, like I'm in the right, you know, this guy's a douchebag, and I've been on eBay for so freaking long, and you know, I've had them sway my decision in certain scenarios where they may not have. And I think it's because of my rating on eBay is so high, and because I've been around for so long, you know, and a lot of times this feedback comes from some newbie. 24 feedback, been on eBay platform since 2000 to 2021. Are you kidding me? I've been on since 99, 2000, you know, 2000 actually is when I first started, introduced to eBay in 99. But anyway, started my account in 2000. And I mean, you can clearly see the one account's got 5,000, almost 5,000 feedback. This other account's got 1,300, 1,500 feedback. It's like I've been, you know, you can see what's going on, you know, me versus that customer, some Yahoo. And so they have swayed in my decision before, even on cases that have been kind of like on the fence. I don't think that may quite happen anymore because they're getting tighter with stuff, but at least the ones that are straight bogus, like they bought something, never checked out, or they bought something, you had to cancel the order, never shipped them anything, and then they leave feedback still. It's like, come on, man. And there are other examples or feedback, you know, that I would probably call, but I can't think of any right now. So anyway, I'm rambling about the feedback portion, but really it's about the returns. So the other return I had was bogus and that petty. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get too deep into it. A guy sold a shirt from somebody back on the 18th of April. They're just now wanting to do a return on it, which is, I don't understand this far. But anyway, so I'll never understand that, why somebody waits to the last darn minute to do a return on something. But it literally is a shirt that you know, I'm pretty good at looking at stuff and seeing issues and seeing problems and blemishes and things like that. And I'm pretty good at listing those things because I want to minimize returns. So you want to make sure that you're being descriptive, and it doesn't have to be crazy descriptive. Just like if there's a stain, a rip, a hole, or whatever, a tear, you point at it and take a quick picture. And then in the description, you just put, hey, I've mentioned this before in another video. Hey, there's a blemish. It's in the photos, and that's it. It doesn't have to be rocket science or crazy detailed wording and paragraphs and palm paragraphs of just quick to the point. Hey, blemish on shirt as pictured, and hit your finger with the picture of where the blemish is. Done. Apparently, either one of two things happened. I missed it, which is very possible because the size of this blemish, it's a little tiny. It's a blue shirt. It's a Carolina Panther shirt. It's blue, and it's got a pinhole, like not a pinhole, a pin size stain. Apparently, it's very, very faint, very, 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 very small, really unnoticeable because I didn't see it. If it was actually there and he didn't do it, I didn't see it. It was so little, so minute. Really, they're being petty, in my opinion. I mean, I don't sell clothes all the time. Like, I do sell clothes all the time, but I'm not a clothes. That's not my niche. So I don't know. Maybe some of you clothes people can tell me, like, I mean, are people that crazy and anal about? Like, I've normally people are good about stuff, but literally this was the smallest on the bottom of the shirt, the smallest little tiny. I couldn't even see it when he submitted the case for the return. So I asked him, I had sent him an actual message and said, hey, can you send me some more pictures of the blemish? Because I can't see what you're referring to in the pictures that you've taken. So he sent more pictures, and it was still very, very faint, barely noticeable, super small, literally the size of a pinhead. I mean, it's super small. It's almost like somebody had some spaghetti and that tiniest, because it's a little reddish hue to it, like an amber kind of hue to it. It's the littlest, tiniest little. So it could have been an oversight on my part. It could have been because it was so tiny. But it blows me away that he wants to return it because of that. Like, that's petty. I'm gonna go back to just saying that's petty, but this is the things you got to deal with as a reseller, and so you just got to roll with the punches. In this case, what I did is I just offered him half. I was like, "You mind?" I was like, "Hey, I understand." Well, I actually poked at him a little bit and was like, "Hey, so are you talking about that little tiny, like unnoticeable, super tiny spot that I use? I mean, you can barely see." Worded it to that effect, and he replies like, "Well, it doesn't look that bad in the pictures, but it looks really bad in person." Fair, I guess, maybe. But so I was just like, "Hey, would you accept half off?" And it was $13 and then $5 shipping. I was like, would you accept half off for like $9 and change? I only made $8.92 on the deal after all the fees and stuff. Okay, I was like, would you take a $9 credit and change? And he accepted yes. He said, I'll do that. No, thank you. And so I did a $9 refund and kept it moving. And the reason I did that is because eBay is going to send him a priority label, not even a ground advantage. So they're going to send him a priority label on my dime through my free returns and have it sent back. So it's going to cost me like $9, $9 to have it sent back to me. It's just not worth it. You got to play that game. Is it worth it to have this customer even send back this item? In this case, no. So I just, he accepted the $9, keep it moving. You know what I mean? It was a win-win as far as I'm concerned. Keep the shirt. I'm basically just breaking even on it. I picked it up for $1, so I think I'm technically in the hole $1. That don't happen to me very often. So anyway, just sharing that. It's something you got to deal with. It's something you got to just overcome. It's something you got to resolve. You got to use your customer service hat in that case and figure out what the best, a solution for the customer, because ultimately they're going to send it back if you don't, or they're going to leave you negative feedback if you don't. And it's not worth it if you're doing this full time to have somebody for $13. Or $18 to leave you negative feedback. It's just not worth it, man. And it's not worth doing a return to eat another $9 on a return to then maybe resell that item for another $15 or $13. And you know what I mean? It's just that I keep going backwards at that point. It's just not worth it. So sometimes you have to do that analysis. Is it worth it? Versus my cost, my in cost, my shipping, to have him even return this item. Usually on lower dollar items like that, it's normally not worth doing a return. Just keep it moving. So they don't happen often. Returns don't happen too much. Again, that's a petty one. I have another return. Talking about coming in waves. I had the controller I talked about before. I'm not going to get into that one again. For some minute issue. It's not even an issue. A super minute difference from what the photo showed and what they actually got. So again, petty in my opinion, but it is what it is. And then the third one I just got recently, which, knock on wood that we don't get any more for a while, because again, this seems to come in batches and then they stop for a bit. But this one, a guy had bought a Game Boy for $80 plus shipping. Said that his intent was to buy games for it and play it, but he just found out he's going to have some medical things taken care of, and so he's not going to be able to play it at all. So he said he figured he'd just return it instead of it sitting around. I can't help that one. That one I can't help. So there's that. That's what he said in his feedback and his thing in the case. So that one I am accepting back. I will be able to resell that for $80 again, and I may be out $10 when it's all said and done for shipping, give or take. I don't know, 15, whatever. But still enough meat on the stick to do the return, get it back. Plus I'm only in on it like $15, so it's still, no matter what, I'm gonna still make some money on it. But it's just like, man, really. At the time that I just got 2 returns. Now this one, which is, I guess, more legit. Not really. I mean, really, in my opinion, if that's the case, just, I don't know, I'm not gonna give you my opinion on that. I would just keep it and sell it on my own and not stick it to the person that just sent it to me. Like, that's my issue. That's my problem. I bought it with intent to keep it, and he bought it like 3 weeks ago now. 2-3 weeks ago now. It is what it is. Again, 30-day free returns. It's on me. I have it open. I have it on. I do recommend doing it. I do recommend having it on your account or having it on your store, especially if you do this full time, because it just gives the customer more peace of mind. I would say that translates to more sales 9 times out of 10. One person has free returns and one person doesn't. They're probably going to go with the free returns customer. So anyway, that's all I got on that. Returns, they suck. It's unfortunate. It's part of doing business. No matter what you do, no matter how you do, what business you're in, returns or loss is always going to be some part of the business. Whether it's some sort of internal loss, external, returns. It could just be anything where you start going backwards, or not really, you're not going backwards, but you lose money on a transaction. It's going to bound to happen on almost any business, especially these businesses like this in retail and things like that. So the what you can do is do your due diligence to avoid getting the returns. So really the best thing is to be full disclosure. That's the only way you can really avoid returns. Take good pictures, you know what I mean, and disclose the little blemishes and things like that. Obviously, even as a professional seller, as a seasoned pro, you can still oversight stuff. I don't may or may not have, but I'll own it. Whether he did it or not, I'll own it. May have been an oversight on my part because it was so tiny, so minuscule, so little that, and I'm sure I've sent other things out that have had such little tiny things like that happen that most customers don't care. This guy cared, and that's fine. So anyway, that's just part of business, man. So we do have some sales to go over. Sales have been steadily doing good in sales. I've got 640 some items up. I sold 8 things between yesterday and today. So another very good day in sales. Hit our goal. 8 items for a total of $515.65. So another wonderful day. We've had basically since I've started the promotion on Friday or Thursday or Friday of last week through the weekend, and now still momentum still happening. It's Thursday and we're still getting lots of traction, a lot more traffic, a lot more happening, a lot more offers, a lot more eyeballs getting on my stuff. You can see in the analytics everything has gone up, since the promotion started. So I, in my experience, highly recommend and encourage any of you guys that are doing this to do your promotions, sales promotion, or your sale, the marketing promo. Why am I losing it? The promotion. I usually do 5% on the whole store to get more eyeballs and traffic on all my stuff, and then from there I do a markdown sale on my older items for like 30-ish, 35% off on older items like 6 months or less. And then some of my older items, 90 or less, or even some of my newer items that are within the last 6 months, I'll do like a little 10% off. And that tends to help drive. Now you're eating 15% in that case, right? Because you're losing the 10% plus the 5. But your sales and the money starts flowing more. So, I understand the mindset of I want to get what I want to get out of these items because it's valued as this. I understand that mindset, but you're also running a business. Cash flows and a thing. So you want cash to continue to flow. And so how do you do that? You got to sell stuff. And so sometimes you got to take, you want to get some sales, you got to take less sometimes, or you got to get some more eyeballs on your stuff. So, I would imagine certain niches may or may not need that. I know I'm a little all over the place, but I'm mainly honed into video games. I mean, video games sell pretty well without doing promos and things like that, but I sell them that much faster when I do put promos and things like that on. So it's like, I'd rather have the cash flow because then I can go out and buy more stuff and turn that into more money and keep cranking the wheel. And so that's kind of, versus it sitting here on a shelf. And, I got $5 invested. The item's worth, let's say 50, should sell all day for 50. Well, hell, I'll take 30, 35. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to get the full 50, but I'm in $5. I'd rather crank that out and get some more cash and then keep going because it's a win-win. You still 5 times your money. So anyway, a lot of people get stuck in that mindset of I want this for it and I'm only going to go this route. Now, I'll be honest, there's some items I'm that way too about, but I would say the vast majority of my store, I'm willing to go a lot less because the end cost is low and I would rather it move and get some cash flow. So again, there are going to be exceptions to the rule. Obviously this is a good example here. Like, Mario 3, I forget exactly. I think I got it up for like 120 or something like that. They sell for about 80 to 100 in the box, but this one is mint. Like, it is mint condition. It makes a difference. So I'm gonna hold firm on this longer than I would if it was, a little more used condition, a little bit more, had a little more love kind of thing, had a little bit more creases or whatever, just a little bit more used condition. I'd be more flexible in price, but that thing is mint. And so there are certain things that, you do want to get your premium out of. I get that, but it shouldn't be the whole store. It shouldn't be most of your items. At least, again, there's no right or wrong in any of this, right? It's what works for you, and you know, as long as you can maintain it and keep it rolling and make it, you know, it be legit like a actual business, then, you know, if it works for you, then keep doing what you're doing. But anyway, that's all I got on that. So let's go over these sales, because I'm already 20 minutes in. We haven't even touched sales yet. 20 minutes in. Jeez, man. So first thing that sold is a Star Wars. Let's see, I gotta find it. Star Wars. I think it's in. Is it? No, that's the Halo. It's Halo. Star Wars. Well, right here. Okay, so Star Wars, little figurine, Micro Machine Star Wars. It was I shouldn't have got it, but I did. I think I paid maybe $1 or $2 for it. It sold for $6.50 plus shipping. And basically after fees and everything, get my money back kind of thing. So that sold on a 35% promotion. I've had that for a long time. Bad pickup. You know, I saw sealed. Oh man, is it new? Oh yeah, okay, it is open there, but it is sealed still inside, or new inside. But I saw it. It was pretty much, you know, it's all brand new in the box still. Star Wars Micro Machines, I think, is what got me. Star Wars Micro Machines. I was like, oh, $1 or $2, $20. I figured in my head, $15-$20. I ended up putting up for 15, or I don't know, $13.99 or whatever. But I ended up going on promotion at 35% off. It's been in my store for, I don't know, I don't even remember, maybe a year now. But it's out of here, and that's goes to show 35% promo. I ain't making much off of it. Maybe, you know, I break even, maybe make $1 when it's all said and done, because I did pay shipping, which was like $11. So, but so I might make $1 on shipping too, possibly $1 or $2 on shipping. So I may still actually make $1 or $2 on it, but it's just not worth it. So this is one of those things I shouldn't have picked up. I have a lot of those things in my store, even though I'm a pro, or consider myself a pro. There's still times I pick things up that, because I don't look at my phone. I've got pretty good intuition doing this as long as I have, so I don't look at my phone. I don't like to look stuff up on my phone. I've said that before. I'm just not. I don't like it. I enjoy on the back end when I get home looking things up, be like, hey, or I knew that. Whoa, that's higher than I thought it was. You know, it's not often. It's the other way where it's like, oh man, this is trash. I picked this up and it was terrible. So, you know, I shouldn't have picked this up. Even this at the time, I was like, didn't think it was a big deal picking it up. I looked at the comps, they were going like $15. I was like, well, I'll make like $10 on it. It's, you know, again, and I figured it'd sell fast. It didn't sell fast. So sometimes you don't, you know, you win some, you lose some. You just got to win more than you lose, and then you usually you're in good shape at that point. Next thing that sold was a Wii U, my last one actually. So Wii U sold. These things sell so well. This sold for $198. I just sold one the other day, but this is my last one now. $198 plus shipping. I'm not going to open it up and everything, but $198 plus shipping. So I think my end cost on this was like $80. So there you go. 120 or 198 plus shipping. So there's that. And that did sell via promoted listing, so I got double dinged on it. Unfortunately, that's so I'm not gonna make as much as I was hoping, but I got double dinged, 10% off and the promo, so 15% I lost on that. But it's out of here. It's you know, I'm still gonna make. I think I picked it up for like 80 after fees and stuff, shipping. I mean, I made still pretty close. It was a marketplace pickup, so it goes back to my flip to 100. If you haven't heard that in a while, because I probably haven't said it in a while, because I'm not doing as many marketplace pickups as I used to, but flip to 100. Every time I pick something up on marketplace, like what I just picked up, which I'll show you in a second, flip to 100. So I want to at least try to make $100 on it. Now, granted, after fees and everything like that, it might only be 80, but I want to flip to 100. So if I see something for $50, I want to try to be able to make 150 off of it on eBay. So I want to flip to 100. It's a even number. It works well. So I'll show you exactly what I mean here in a minute with the thing I just picked up. My other deal didn't. I actually had two deals this morning. One fell through. Hopefully we can meet up later for a Switch. Really good price with a lot of good games. And then the Xbox One S that I just picked up. So I'll show you guys that in a second. But anyway, so this sold $198 plus shipping. I think I'm at 100 even after fees after that and shipping and everything. I'll still probably, even the promotions at 15%, blah, blah, blah. I should still at least clear about $80, $90, pretty close to 100 on that. So not terrible. God of War sold for $13.99. I believe this is the one with the manual. With manual, yes. All right, so with manual. So another God of War. I had 3 of them, 2 with manuals. They both sold for $14 free shipping. I don't know if something's happening with God of War currently, but they both just sold really easily. Bose and the Pro Controller. Bose. So I've had this for a while too. It's on promotion. Somebody finally sent me an offer. I'm not sure it's the right one. PS51. Yeah. All right. So I've got 2 of these actually. Bose, the Bose plugs, sold for $12 plus shipping. So anytime you see anything Bose and it's cheap enough, I say get it. I mean, this has been sitting for a while, but since I put the promotion on, it sold under the promotion, under promoted listing. So there you go. Got more eyeballs on it. Somebody sent me an offer for 12, had it up for 17. It just had the promo on it. Didn't have the markdown, but somebody sent me an offer for 17 or 12 plus shipping. I think, yeah, plus shipping. And so there you go. Sold. It's just a matter of getting more eyeballs on it. That thing's been sitting in my store for probably a year, to be honest with you. So just the right buyer at the right time under the promoted listings. Boom. I have another one actually as well. It was ironic. Somebody else right before that had sent me an offer for both of them, but like $6 a piece. So 12 for the pair. And I was like, no. So I sent them a counter for 12. And the next thing you know, this guy sent me an offer for 12. And I was like, sold for one of them. And I was like, sold. So I got one left. Pro Controller sold for 33 plus shipping. 33 plus shipping for the Switch. Yeah, Bose stuff, man. You can't go wrong with Bose stuff. Let's see, a card and well, where'd my brains go? Should be right here. Oh, right there. Got it. All right, and then what was the other thing? There was one more. Oh, the game. Okay. So the last 3 things that sold were Super Mario Land. Again, this goes back to, we had mentioned before, hold on a second. Had mentioned before, even if the labels are a little janky, that doesn't mean you can't sell it. How sorry, stop you from moving. But the doesn't mean that they won't sell. So this sold for $18 plus shipping on that one. That one also had 10% off plus promoted, so 15% off the $18. It is what it is. It's out of here. I think that's been sitting for a couple months too. Tom Brady, 8.5 rookie card out of Press Pass. Sold for $100 plus shipping. That one sold straight up. Actually, that sold under promoted listings, of course. Promoted listing, 5% off of that. And then backpacks, man. Again, promoted listing sale. All three of these were promoted listings. This one sold for $34 plus shipping. $34 plus shipping. Picked this up, I don't know, about a month ago or so. Backpacks, guys. Backpacks. This is Marmont. First time I've ever had a Marmont, but it's like a hiking type backpack. So Marmont. Never sold a Marmont before, but I think I got it for like $3 at the yard sale. I was like, it looks in really good condition. Hiking-ish backpack. I was like, I don't think you can go wrong with that. Well, I was right. There you go. 34 plus shipping. So that's actually going overseas. So that's it. Those are the sales. I'm gonna pack this stuff up. Where are we at in time? 30 minutes. We talked about returns. I'm not gonna go there again. Returns, man. Jeez, returns. I'm gonna get this stuff packed and shipped. Same old, same old. Y'all know how I do. I'm running to Jersey Mike's after this, getting me some lunch. I got my helmet business, my sports memorabilia business. I've got like 21 boxes left in our series. I do that live on Facebook. So if any of you guys like sports memorabilia, any of that kind of stuff, check me out on Facebook. My group is BTG East Coast on Facebook. So it might be in my list here. I can't remember if I have it on my links or not, but probably not, because I don't cross over too much. But anyway, because it's totally separate. Guys that do the sports stuff aren't really into my reselling stuff, and guys that are y'all that are into my reselling may or may not like sports stuff. I don't know, but I can tell you a lot of my guys I talk about sports stuff with in the in my Facebook group there. Some of them are intrigued. I mean, not everybody, but the overall is like, no, we're not really interested, Joe. So anyway, but that's what I got going on. I got to take care of that, get some of that stuff packed and shipped out as well. Oh, also, I sold the CPAP on Facebook Marketplace. So the CPAP that I had gotten on that 1 yard sale a while back, I had gotten 2 of them actually, and I had mentioned to you guys about the not selling medical supplies on eBay. So I decided to go with a third-party company that purchases medical supplies. And I was going to go that route. They were going to pay me $150. They pay for the label. I mentioned this in one of my other videos. It talks about the CPAP machines are not to sell on eBay, medical supplies or whatever it's titled. So you can always go back to that one if you want to get more details on that. But so the update on that is I'm not going through them. I actually had my wife, because it got taken off on my marketplace too because of being a medical device. But they're all over marketplace. So, of course, I don't want to risk my marketplace. So I said, okay, because it did give me the thing saying if you list again, you're at risk of losing your marketplace, blah, blah, blah. I think I told you guys all that before. So I decided to go with this other company that is a legit company it's like 1-800-CPAP.com or something like that. Anyway, they buy CPAPs and stuff. They're a medical company that's able to do that. And so they made me an offer, $150 for these 2 machines. I decided to put the one machine, which is the newer one, on my wife's marketplace, and it's been up for about a week. And a lady today, well, actually the last couple of days, has been messaging us about it, and today she sent me $250 for the one, and I'm going to pack that up and get that shipped out to her today as well. So that was nice, a nice little come up from that yard sale, from all the stuff I got, because I spent $400 that day, if I remember correctly, like $430 or $440 or something like that. So that's nice that one thing, $250, boom. And then the other CPAP I'm still going to send to that company, because the other one is an older one, and they're going to offer me $50 plus they're going to send me the label. So I'm still going to go ahead and send that to them and just take the $50 from them. So essentially I get $300 for the two units, and I was in, and then I got all the video games out of that. I got the shoes, I got the calculator, there's a whole bunch of other slew of stuff that I got out of that yard sale, but it was mainly the video games. He got me on the video games, so I didn't make as much on the games I thought I would, but I made it up through the CPAP and some of these other things that I picked up. So that's why it's good to be versatile and know other things. The only thing is that eBay is way better at closing you down for things that aren't supposed to be on there now with AI. It used to be easier to do that kind of stuff. Now it's getting a lot harder. So anyway, that's all I got, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your Thursday, I'll be back. I might not be back tomorrow, actually, because I think I'm heading out of town to Georgia. So I may or may not be back tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a short if I'm out and about picking. But I don't even know if I'll be picking this weekend. So I'm helping a buddy move locations. He owns a card store, and so he's moving locations. And so he needs some help. Called in a favor. He's kind of my boss, kind of too. Sort of in my helmet business. He's actually the one that got me in it, and it's actually his company. I'm kind of like a affiliate of it now, but I do my own thing and do it all on my own. So anyway, we're still good friends, and he called in a favor. I was like, absolutely, I'll be down there, help you out. So I'll be down in Georgia probably starting tomorrow. I'm gonna head down, I think tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon sometime. So don't know if I'll be doing a bunch of picking, but I did see the weather's supposed to be terrible this weekend, so I don't think there's going to be much picking, at least around here anyway. I don't know how the weather will be down there, but here in North Carolina, around where I'm at in Fayetteville, it's supposed to rain, I believe. Last time I checked it yesterday, I believe it's supposed to be pretty nasty Saturday. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you got anything out of this, make sure you subscribe. I'll be back at some point, but sales are going good finally. Start those promotions. Start doing some discounts on your old items. Try to get them out of your store, get some cash flowing, especially if you're in a point where you're like, man, eBay's dead and I don't understand. I mean, if you haven't done it, try those. I bet they will help. And then get you some cash flow again so you can get some new items up, because the new stuff helps draw people in too, and helps get some of those old items. So, you know, the more you list, the more that wheel's turning and everything's kind of working. So that certainly helps a lot too. So, which I said it yesterday, I still haven't listed anything at all from my yard sales. Shame on me, right? I've been busy with the helmets, man. We've been killing it every night on helmet stuff. So it's been just enough for me to do that and then do this and then rinse and repeat. And then by the time the kids get home, dinner, it's like the next day start already, and I haven't had a chance to get stuff up on eBay. So my plan today is to get maybe 10 items up, because I've been selling through a lot, so I need to replenish. Again, that helps the traffic, helps the flow, helps the algorithm, it just helps. Part of the wheel, man. Part of what needs to be done all the time. So shame on me. I got to take my own advice. So anyway, have a good rest of your day, everybody, and we will see y'all on the next one. Bye, guys.